Amplify Science Bootcamp. This course is designed for 6th and 8th grade science students. It is to acclimate them into using the Amplify website. The Assure instructional design model will be applied throughout this course. Amplify Science is the textbook and online resources that my district uses to teach science with. It includes workbook pages and consumable pages, an online library where students annotate, and then many different simulation programs or science apps that we use to teach science with. The storyboard creation was created with an Assure template that walks through all the different steps of the Assure model. It was laid out like you see here. Now I will give more details about each step. Analyzing learners is an important part of this process. So we'll look at student data for RSP students or students who have IEPs, 504 English language learners, gate identification, and then also looking at the SBAC and iReady levels for math and reading to understand that some students are many years below grade level and some are many years above. So knowing how to making sure that we understand the support and scaffolding that some students will need, and the differentiation and acceleration that other students might need. And then also looking at beginning of the year interests, previous experience survey, how many students have experience with this textbook already, and what kind of learning methods that students might prefer. Students will be able to navigate the Amplify site by finding specific areas. This is a number one objective. They just need to be able to use the Amplify. And then they also need to be able to use specific things like annotating text. We do that on a regular basis, several times per unit. So that's an important skill. And students need to be able to use the simulations, accessing different features. Even though there's a different sim for each unit, there's certain repetitive ways of navigating that students need to learn. So different methods, we will use a pre-test, a post-test, several video demonstrations walking them through how to access things, discussions where students can post things they've learned and questions they have, learning checks along the way that will refer them back to materials that can help them review if they're not quite getting it, application assignments where they have to analyze or utilize Amplify to accomplish certain tasks, and then exit survey to be able to analyze effectiveness. The media choices here will be videos from both Amplify and instructor-created videos, capturing pieces of Amplify that students need, putting it all together in Canvas, so utilizing Canvas discussions and quizzes, using Google Slides to walk them through certain information. Some of those videos might be YouTube videos, using quizzes in Edpuzzle as learning checks, as well as Canvas quizzes, utilizing Amplify to access different tools and submit work. Padlet is another one that will be used for discussion purposes, and then Google Forms as a way to pre-test and or exit survey. So materials that students will need is a computer or their internet-enabled devices, a tablet or a cell phone may work, and being able to sign into their student Amplify and Canvas accounts. So we're at the phase of step 4 where we will utilize the media and materials. And I will go into somewhat highlighting the aligned learning outcomes in that area. So with objective 1, we have the objective and which learning outcome aligns with that. The instructional strategies using to be able to help students learn how to navigate will be that they introduce with a demonstration of the website and then go on a scavenger hunt to use, online, and be able to post things that they find together so that they get some feedback from other students. And finally, taking a quiz that will help them learn and show their knowledge of accessing different places in Amplify. For objective 2, have a learning outcome, instructional strategies of how the students will learn to annotate, making sure they kind of check off certain features that they know how to use, and again, posting feedback to other students about that, and then taking an assessment where they actually need to annotate a text and submit it in Amplify to show that they can do it. And finally, for objective 3, using the simulations, learning outcome, and instructional strategies, where the students really get to explore and learn at least one sim and then utilize it to try an activity that they, and also take a quiz so that they can kind of make sure they understand the basic features. So requiring learner participation is a next step in the SURE model, making sure that students are actively engaged and participating. So that will be through many of the different methods, utilizing Canvas quizzes, and accessing different parts of the Amplify Science website where they have to interact and do certain tasks, and then utilizing Edpuzzle and Padlet as kind of formative ways of sharing knowledge and checking on our knowledge learning checks, and then Google Forms, most likely for our exit survey. But the end of the Assure model is to evaluate and revise. So analyzing some of the most missed questions, maybe creating a cheat sheet for some of the misunderstood skills, or maybe just like a remember these are what we learned and how to do it for students who might need support, something they can look at back to. And then analyzing some of the student exit survey to find out what things might need to be revised for the next iteration of this training. So the Assure model is a cyclical design where go back and reanalyze for next year or the next month or the next iteration to make it better.